Today on Magi Sigillum, we are talking about John Dee's Glyph. The glyph first appears in John Dee's book Monas Hieroglyphica, first published on January 30th, 1564 in Antwerp, Belgium, or as John Dee likes to say it, conceived in London yet born in Antwerp. John Dee did a breakdown of his glyph in this book for Maximilian II, from a house of Habsburg, king of the Holy Roman Empire. He broke it down through a cycle of theorems, and we are going to follow those theorems and explain it. Dee begins with a circle and a straight line. The reason because in 16th century a circle was not a simple geometric object, so Dee explains King Maximilian not just to draw a circle, but the glyph itself. To draw a circle, first you need to draw a dot or a point. From that point you will need to draw a straight line, which is in this case a radius for the circle. By adding a symbol for moon on top of a circle, now we get symbolically a circle that represents the sun, a dot or a point that represents the earth, and symbol for moon that represents, well, a moon, but not just any moon, a new moon, especially good when you have a new transits. All this lays on top of a rectilinear cross. This cross could be viewed in two ways. First is a ternary, where we have two straight lines and a point, which represents into body, spirit and soul. The second one is quaternary, where we have two straight lines that make four angles and represent four elements: fire, water, earth and air. By adding a symbol of Aries, first sign of the zodiac, which represents fire, and in this case that fire can bind all the elements of this glyph. Now the glyph has a shape, and Dee breaks it down to Luna, Sol, Elementa and Ignis. Moon, Sun, elements and fire. It is always meant that the Aries be not that far from the sun. It was always meant to represent a first day of Aries, the beginning of the zodiac. Now John Dee tells us about the symbols of the 5 planets, passed from generation to generation of Magus to Magus. The symbols are Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars and Venus. And every symbol is hidden inside this glyph. Now that we see all the planets from John Dee's glyph, John Dee tells us that if we turn his glyph upside down, it will be position of the planets like the Plato himself wrote about. The positions begin from Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Moon, Venus, Mercury and to the Sun. The interesting thing here is that at the time Moon was a planet, but now we know is a natural satellite of Earth. John Dee also tells us about the sign of Taurus. Sign Taurus is made from the moon and the circle. While I would not recommend you having an Aries and Taurus inside of one glyph, because they both represent strength and fire, and the glyph can be unstable, but if you really like both strength and fire so much, yeah, then go for it. John Dee apparently liked it so much that he put it on his own personal glyph. And those were the basics about John Dee's glyph. If you want to learn more about it, you can always read his book Monas Hieroglyphica. I hope you liked this video. There will be plenty more videos, so click that subscribe button to get them all.